Welcome back. In our last couple of videos, we walked through how to get to the assessment in Building Protect with VicQM and an overview of how to fill it out. Now we're going to take it a step further and get the report and look at the tools, specifically the Keep Safe Miami Hazard Strategies Guide, which will help us make decisions and work toward making our buildings a little more resilient. So it's important to note that the report that Building Protect generates is an informative summary. It's a motivator or a conversation, a call to action to address the existing vulnerabilities to climate change for your individual building. Use the report findings to have a conversation with building management and appropriate professionals to help formulate a potential plan and help inform your decisions on operations, capital planning, and how you invest in your portfolio. Since this is a self-assessment, it can't give you all the answers to life's mysteries, but it certainly is a great guide. So let's take a look. The report will be emailed to you, but if you ever want to go back in, you can go find the project, and right under where you completed the assessment is the project report. This is where that lives. Clicking on it opens up a new tab, which I already have open, and it gives you the project report. A brief overview of this. The cover page is the high-level information, the address of the building, who completed the assessment, when they completed it, and the contact information of that information. And then we get into the assessment form. So every question that was answered is displayed here. As you can see, the annual operating budgets related to flooding, extreme heat are listed. And the first question about energy or resilience audit is here. In this case, one has been completed, so there's no strategy. It does give a criticality listing for each one of these, which we'll see more about in the Hazard Strategies Guide. Let's just peek through the photo that we uploaded in the last video. Any photo that you do upload and drag and drop will be associated with each question. And for example, this report has 7 pages. As I noted, every answer that you chose will be displayed here, whether it was a take action or a non-take action kind of thing. In this case, unused spaces near the building that can be used to address potential surface water issues. And in my case, I said, yes, there are. So the report is telling me to take action. And it gives a very general but targeted type of information to use to take action. It's not going to tell you you need to plant X plant in Y location, because of course these are self-assessments, and the report doesn't have the privy of being on site and acting as a professional that you had been. So it'll give you information that you'll take and use. And the key here is to take every one of these questions, look through the report, and when you want to know more information about what's been expressed or put together, that's where the Keep Safe Miami Hazard Strategies Guide come in. We'll take a look at that in just a second, but let me scroll through and show you some different examples. I apologize for the scrolling. But as I noted, each question will have its answer and its criticality. So ground level apartments was listed as critical, but there aren't any. So there isn't a strategy to go with it. And this is true the whole way through the report. So it's important that you look through the entire report. And as I noted, we'll use the Hazard Strategies Guide to gain more information, more knowledge, more power. That is located on that same project page. Remember, this is where we both filled out the assessment here and got the project report when we were finished. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, all the way down to the uploaded document section, this is where the question form lives. That's the Word document that you can use to answer the questions offline. The user guide, which walks you through how to use this site, and this, the Keep Safe Miami Hazard Strategies Guide. Click on this little cloud to download it. If you accidentally delete it, it's a two-stage process. But if you accidentally do, just let us know. We can get it to you or put it back on your project, no problem. Click the little cloud and it'll download, which I already have. And here's what this looks like. Now, this is a wonderful 13-page document. This video is not intended to go through every line item, but to show you an example of how to use it. The first thing you'll notice is the key about cost, criticality, complexity, hazards. These relate directly to the table that follows, this long table. This, let me zoom in a little bit. This table represents every question and every strategy that could be on the report. It walks through each one with the section, the strategy that is related to. This is the exact language that's on the report. Its criticality level, the hazards that this relates to. So having access to potable water is more than just a sea level rise issue, of course. It's a flooding issue, an extreme wind, extreme heat. Each one has a garden style, a mid-rise cost and complexity level, generalized, of course. And each one of these can be distinguished by the key. For instance, $1 sign, and I'm sorry to scroll up and down, $1 sign is equivalent to, anywhere from $0 to $10,000, roughly. Give you a sense of what you're looking at. Obviously, every building is different. Every contractor has slightly different prices, although pretty uniform. And it depends on how much you can do yourself. So it's a guide. And it's the same with the criticality. It describes what we mean by critical or moderate or low. And the complexity, the difficulty. Is it difficult? Is it moderate? Or is it something that could be implemented easily? And then a little information about what we mean when we talk about these hazards, although they are pretty straightforward. This is the definition. These are the resources that were used, the major resources that were used in developing this entire program. There are many, many others, but that document itself could be numerous pages. So these are the high level ones. And then I do want to point out one very important piece, that as you look through this and you're gaining more information on, say, access to potable water, there are resources for action on this very last column. Excellent guides put together by many, many experts across the country and even internationally. It is wonderful information. Don't hesitate to click these links. Keep Safe Strategies Guide, Multifamily Strategies Guide. Just absolutely wonderful materials that will help you. And you can see these are referenced here. So EGC, Enterprise Green Communities. That's this guide, Enterprise Green Communities. So again, while it may seem like a lot of work, it's pretty straightforward. For instance, we'll use our example, the unused spaces that could be used for vegetation or potential surface stormwater issues. Yes, we need to take action, and it's a moderate criticality. So we'll use this little section right here, reinforce site with vegetation. Each one of these questions will have this parenthetical phrase. We'll take this reinforced site with vegetation to the guide. It's alphabetical on the left. I'm going to scroll down to the R's. I apologize. And here he is, reinforced site with vegetation. So this is the language. These are the hazards it applies to, the relative costs and difficulty. And then this guide here for more very detailed information, including suggestions on what to actually do, what to use, and how to do it. Not just you should do it, and this is what this means, but here's what you can actually do. Each one of these questions, scrolling back to the report, each one of those questions that you answered has that. We'll just scroll through to pick another random one. Here's a critical. Foundation been inspected. We use this foundation reinforcement parenthetical phrase. We'll go here. We use the alphabet for foundation reinforcement. And we have the same level of information. The criticality, the hazards it relates to, the relative cost, the relative complexity, and a guide for much, much more information. So that's the main point of how to use the immediate information that Building Protect gives you. Get the report, review the report, cross-reference this guide for much more information on what to really think about doing next. Take that conversation further to really make a difference in our buildings. And thank you.